So remember Solyndra? I mean, who could forget? The solar manufacturer that got $535 million in U.S. loans and then went completely bankrupt. Well, another solar company, Abound Solar, is the latest to receive millions in federal loan guarantees and then go belly up. More of your tax dollars up in smoke. You really can't make this stuff up. Joining me now is Marc Morano, publisher of Climate Depot. Marc, pardon me, a former staff member of the U.S. Senate Environment and Public Works Committee. Marc, thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Melissa.
I want to start off with a quote from Representative Cliff Stearns. He says, quote, "We know why they went bankrupt. We warned them they would go bankrupt. The larger question is why the administration was pursuing a green energy policy in which companies are going bankrupt and wasting taxpayer money." What do you think about that?
Well, this is ideology. They're putting ideology before economic common sense and before wise use of tax funds. And they have a complete misunderstanding of energy in this country. The Obama administration, this is all part of their plan to subsidize energy that doesn't produce and to ban energy that does. And they're going after coal, and they're trying to put limits on natural gas, and they're going after oil. So this is not surprising at all. In fact, Secretary Chu was one of the biggest cheerleaders of Abound Solar.
Yeah, I mean, they're blaming their bankruptcy on a global oversupply of, solar panels. I've heard this before, that they can make them cheaper in China. And so they said, well, that's why we can't keep up. So then I wonder, why are they even making them then?
Yes, and that's the thing. There's no market for this in the first place. We saw Solyndra, which is half a billion, go under. This company got $400 million and only accessed $70 million from their credit line. That's the scandal here. They're kicking themselves now that they only accessed $70 million of that $400 million that they were authorized to use before they went under. And of that $70 million, they lost $60 million of it to the taxpayers. Are going to lose $60 million. So what I think's happened here is the market for solar, despite all these mandates and subsidies, solar is less than 1% of U.S. energy. Wind power is less than 0.5% worldwide. One medium-sized coal plant in Kentucky produces more energy than wind and solar combined.
But let me ask you, I mean, the Greenies...
It's a boutique energy.
Yeah, the Greenies always say that we highlight the failures and we never talk about the successes. Are there any solar companies out there that are getting government grants and really going gangbusters and doing well? I
mean, yes, there are companies out there that, to use Lloyd Benson's words from the 1988 debate with Dan Quayle, the illusion of prosperity. When you pump $40, $80 billion into company into makeshift jobs that are temporary, you're going to have a few years that looks like you're making a lot of money and that looks like things are healthy. When that money runs out, the market's not there. The energy you're allegedly producing isn't there. Again, less than 1%. So it just doesn't work out. In Spain, 2.2 jobs are lost in a study for every green job created.
Sure. I want to tell you what the DOE spokesman said. He said, because of the strong protections that we put in place for taxpayers, once the bankruptcy liquidation is complete, the department expects the total loss to the taxpayer to be between 10 and 15% of the original loan amount. So that's, I mean, by my math, that's $60 million about. Should we feel better about that? I mean, we only lost $60 million. Woohoo! And that's even optimistic.
That's fuzzy math. Keep in mind, they had a $400 million loan guarantee. They only accessed $70 million of that. Of that $70 million, they're losing 60. So the numbers the government's giving out is nonsense. That's what I'm saying. If they had been, at one point late last year, Abound Solar tried to do a lobbying campaign to keep these subsidies going, and some people speculated that it was a way they wanted to access more of that credit line because they only got $70 million. They're out 60 of the $70 million that they got. So that's a huge failure rate. And the government, once again, using fuzzy math.
Yep, absolutely. Marc Morano, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Melissa. Enjoy it.